Welcome you all. Today we are going to discuss regarding the two topics. One is actual vapor power cycle, and second one is methods of improving the Rankine vapor power cycle by using the by varying the different operating conditions. So first let us discuss regarding the actual vapor power cycle. So actual vapor power cycle is different from the ideal vapor power cycle because in actual vapor power cycle there are so many losses are there. So that figure I am going to show later. So whose efficiency, actual vapor power cycle efficiency, we can calculate by using the same equation, that is thermal efficiency is equals to net work done divided by heat supply. But here heat supply and net work done is calculated by the actual state points. They are different from the ideal state points. So now let us discuss regarding the actual vapor power cycle, whose schematic diagram as well as TS diagram. So this is the schematic diagram of actual vapor power cycle and this is the TS diagram. Here you can see this is the one device boiler, this is steam turbine, this is condenser, and this is feed water pump. So ideally speaking, so state point at the outlet of the boiler is same as state point at the inlet of the turbine. But in actual case, some pressure drop occurs here from this state point to this state point. Hence, so P1 dash pressure at this state point is more than pressure at here. That means boiler outlet pressure is more than turbine inlet pressure. So this is one of the laws. Pressure loss is going to occur during the sending the steam from boiler level to turbine level. Similarly, in turbine, so in ideal cases, isentropic expansion is going to take place, reversible adiabatic expansion. But in actual case, it is not isentropic process. So entropy is going to vary. You can see here. So this is the state point 1 at here, and this is the 2s. So if the process is isentropic process, then it is from 1 to 2s. But actual process is 1 to 2 or 1 to 2 dash. So sometime entropy increases, in sometimes entropy decreases. So this we can see here. So this is the one loss, and look at here, this is the P1 dash pressure. It is a more pressure, and P1 is the turbine inlet pressure. Next, let us go to the condenser. So this is the state point 2, and here condenser is attached nearer to the steam turbine, hence there is less losses from sending to steam from turbine to condenser. Hence, even though there is some losses, that are negligible, very small losses. And here it is a condenser, but inside the condenser some losses are going to take place. That is, one is pressure loss. So here this P2 is more than P3. So some pressure loss is going to occur, pressure drop is going to occur in the condenser. Similarly in pump, so this is the state point 3 and this is the state point 4. So isentropic compression takes place in the pump in case of ideal case, but in actual case it is not isentropic compression, it is actual compression. So this is the P3 pressure, condenser outlet pressure, this is P2. So condenser inlet pressure same as the turbine outlet pressure. So this is state point 3. So this would be here, but in actual cases steam is going to condense to the subcooled level. This is state point 3. So 3 to 4s is the isentropic compression process in ideal cases, but in actual cases the process takes place from 3 to 4. This is the dotted line indicates actual compression process. And here also, while transferring the fluid from the state point 4 to 4 dash, some pressure loss is going to occur due to the friction as well as heat losses. So this pressure, P4 dash pressure, is going to obtain less than the P4 pressure due to some losses. So generally there are four kinds of losses are there. Four kinds of losses are there. So one is piping losses. So piping losses occurs in the pipe, inside the pipe, while sending from pump to boiler as well as boiler to turbine. This is one kind of loss. Second loss is turbine loss. in turbine, due to the friction as well as heat losses, isentropic expansion will not take place. And similarly, so this is the condenser. In condenser also some pressure loss and heat loss occurs, so due to which also some pressure drop is going to happen. And in pump loss, so usually in pumping also, due to friction and heat loss, isentropic compression will not take place. So these are the losses, and this is the actual TS diagram. So actual TS diagram is from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1. Okay, this is the actual vapor power cycle processes. And you can see here, this is the 1 dash state point, the state of the steam exit of the boiler. So if frictional losses takes place, it is going to shift from here to here, 1 dash to 1 double dash. If there is a heat losses, then it is going to shift from 1 double dash to 1. So these are the losses generally going to happen in the actual vapor power cycle. I am going to brief it once again. So first one is piping losses. It takes place in between pump to boiler and boiler to turbine, so due to which some pressure drop occurs. And second one is the turbine losses, so due to which actual work done from the turbine is less than the ideal turbine. So ideal turbine is working on the isentropic process. Similarly, in condenser some pressure drop is going to occur, and in pump, here also actual work required to pump must be more than ideal work required to pump. So ideal pump is working on the isentropic compression process. You can see here, so more work is required in actual process. So this is regarding the actual vapor power cycle, where efficiency can be calculated. So net work done divided by heat supplied. So net work done means turbine work minus pump work. Actual turbine work minus actual pump work divided by actual amount of heat is supplied to the boiler. So next we will discuss the methods to improve the efficiency of Rankine vapor power cycle by varying the operating conditions or by the effect of operating conditions on Rankine cycle efficiency. So Rankine cycle efficiency can be improved by two methods. One is increasing the average temperature at which heat is supplied. Second one is decreasing or reducing the temperature at which heat is rejected. By varying these two, so we can improve the Rankine cycle efficiency. So this can be achieved by following suitable arrangement, so that we will discuss. So either by steam generation or in the condensation, so we can improve the increase in average temperature of heat addition or decreasing the temperature at which heat is rejected. So let us discuss one by one. This can be achieved by first one by lowering the condenser pressure. You can see in the TS diagram. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 cycle. This cycle indicates before lowering the condenser pressure. After lowering the condenser pressure, so the state points are going to vary from 1 to 1 dash and 4 to 4 dash. So this is the high pressure and this is the low pressure. So this pressure is the P4 dash and this is the P4 pressure line. So now we can see, as we decrease the condenser pressure, so pressure is directly proportional to temperature, so temperature also decreases. As a result, you can see here, so this much of work done is going to increase. So we know that area enclosed in the TS diagram gives the net heat transfer. It is also same as net work transfer. So as a result of lowering the condenser pressure, so it occupies more area, hence so more work will be generated. But so area under this curve gives the heat supply from 2 to 3. So earlier heat supplied is only 2 to 3, but as a result of lowering the condenser pressure, heat supply will be 2 dash to 3. But by comparing compared to the work output, heat supplied is a little bit smaller. Hence, this method can be adapted to get more efficiency. So this is the one method. Second one is by increasing the boiler pressure. So if you increase the boiler pressure, so this is the earlier pressure, so this pressure line. So while increasing the boiler pressure, so this line is going to shift from 2 dash to 3 dash for a same maximum temperature. So this much area is going to increase. As a result, more work done occurs. But in here, so due to the shift of this line 2 to 4 from here to 3 dash to 4 dash, so here this much of energy area we are going to lose here. That means this much of work we are going to get less. So this is one of the method to increase the Rankine cycle efficiency. But compared to this increase in area, this decrease in area is lesser. But one more drawback is here. Look at here. So 1 to 2 was the isentropic compression process required, pump work required. But this 2 is going to shift here 2 dash. So due to which more work is required to compress the liquid or to send the liquid. And third one is superheating the steam into high temperature. That is one of the method. So without raising the boiler pressure, so we can increase the temperature of the steam by using the superheaters. So due to which, so we can get this much of area more. That means more area means more work done happens. And also from this, what we can say, so look at here, this is the state point for earlier case. This is going to shift to 4 dash. So moisture content will be decreased from here to here. Okay. So as a result, erosion, pitting actions takes place in the steam turbine is going to avoid. So this is what I told. So superheating the steam to higher temperatures has another very important effect, that is, so not only increases the efficiency but also it increases the decreases the moisture content. So moisture content of the steam at a turbine exit, as can be seen at the TS diagram, it is going to shift from 4 to 4 dash. Moisture decreases, quality increases. As a result, so we can get the more efficiency, and also we can avoid the erosion and pitting action takes place in the turbine. So these are the 3 methods to improve the efficiency of Rankine vapor power cycle by varying the operating conditions such as boiler and condenser, and by using superheating method. So these are the 3 methods. So this is regarding the actual vapor power cycle and improving the Rankine cycle efficiency. So in the next video we are going to discuss regarding the what are the other methods to improve the efficiency of Rankine vapor power cycle by using different methods such as regeneration, reheating and all. So those required separate devices, extra devices. So these 3 methods are improving the Rankine vapor power cycle efficiency by altering the obtained operating conditions. That means by using the same devices, how to get more efficiency by varying the operating conditions. But in next video we are going to discuss regarding the different methods by adding the different devices, so how to get the more Rankine vapor cycle efficiency. So hope you understand. So thank you one and all.